Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And this one is going to get a little contentious, Mr. Magazine. You're probably going to punch me.
Wow, okay.
Hey, maybe not that contentious. You've begun to sell on Whatnot recently, correct?
Yes. What if you punch me? Look at it's going to go in my ear. See that? Look at
I do see.
this is fun every week. Go ahead.
The other day, I went by the store, or the cave, and we were talking, whatever, and you claim that you don't have any time. You claim that you're really, really busy all the time.
Well, less time because I'm doing more Whatnot. Okay, go ahead. I'll defend myself after.
How much time do you spend prepping Whatnot?
Actually, more time than you would think because I have to weed out the things that I don't think are worth. So I have like 3 stacks, whether it's comics or whether it's records. I have 3, maybe 4 stacks because I'm going to say their name, Jay. Let's see, we're doing records. We got stuff that I think Jay should be selling, whether it's comics or records.
You know, D-Dist or Indist. Go ahead.
And then we got A, what she's selling. So, I give them certain things on certain days depending on who their crowd is because I've learned some of that by now. Mm-hmm. And then if I feel it's something that's going to go really good on Amazon, I put an A pile, A. Okay, that's A-L-A-M pile. And then if it's total crap, I put a crap pile. So I got to sort these things into 4 piles every time I do it for the most part. And sometimes the 2 listers, and now we got wrestlers we're doing with another lister, so that's even more. But he does a lot of that on his own. But again, it does take some time to weed out. Luckily, we're making room for a big collection coming in, so I'm throwing records out that I just know nobody would want. They're taking up space. We would never list them. So, so maybe 20% of that is just going to get thrown out in a dumpster while we have the temporary dumpster in the front. But it does take an hour. I mean, I could do it for 4 hours. I have so much inventory, and I try and get ahead of myself because I know weekends. Jay sells a lot of records, so he needs 12 hours worth of records, which I kind of know what they go through per hour. So, at least 1 box per hour. So then it means he would need. Or 2 boxes, and so he would need close to 10 boxes because you're not going to sell them all. He may not get to them all, but you're going to sell through a bunch of the boxes. So good, bad, and the ugly. So I would say at least an hour a day doing that, minimum.
And then you also do the same thing for the listers on other sites as well?
Yeah, so certain listers, get certain things that one guy does adult movies and does sports. That's what he knows, a lot of sports, but also if some things take longer, so I try and give each lister something that's easier. Amazon that goes with the tougher listings to average out their day so they get a lot accomplished. One person does action figures and comics. Another one does all kinds of weird oddball ephemera and so forth. And then my manager does all the better stuff if it's $50 or more because he does have the best listing. So and then that's only at the warehouse. Then at the shop I got 3 different listers listing high-end adult, low-end adult, and then books and and so forth, all kinds of odd, weird fashion, so forth, and things like that. So yeah, it does. So now you're looking at probably 2 hours a day because I have to make sure they all have something to do that day or through the week. So that does take time.
We had Mr. Buys a Lot on the show before, and you remember how he sells comics on Whatnot?
I do not remember.
He just has boxes of them. He has his guys sell them. He doesn't watch the show because he doesn't want to know what's sold.
Right. And I probably should do. Well, go ahead.
Have you ever thought about doing that? Because it's a lot of time you're putting in. And I'll give you an example. It's not comics, but it's recipe booklets. Yeah. I just recently picked up a box of recipe booklets. Mm-hmm. Some of them I think are better. I don't care. Right. I verified that the entire box was recipe booklets.
Right.
Ditto, I just picked up a box of sheet music. Some of the sheet music's better. I don't care. I got into the box right. I'm bringing it over to Whatnot. It's all right. Going. There could be $50 recipe booklets in there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and we did start out by doing that. We were doing it, but again, these people complain. I think once they tell them what kind of inventory we have and so forth, they want the better stuff. So I was trying to put more rock together, or if they more jazz, which is taking more time by me. But then again, if we put crap in there, then they complain, oh, this is crap, we don't want this stuff. So they're kind of fussy in that aspect. For comics, I do more of that type of stuff, and again, I want the sales to get up, so I do want to put better things that they're going to buy, higher percentage. But again, you can give him a box of 300 comics, and he's going to show them all, and they're going to pick out what they want, and they may only pick out 5. So you could waste a whole hour selling. But again, I would like that, because then there's things that you think wouldn't sell that do sell, especially with records. Like, I go, this isn't any good. It may, it's probably $5 on Amazon, but it is different. And I'll put it on there, and it might go for $5 or $7 or whatever, or even $2. I could care less.
Right.
If all the records went for $2 or more, I could care less. Especially I want them to take the lesser ones too, and along with the good ones. So then I have more inventory gone. That if they're just cherry picking good ones, I'll get more money for them. But then you're gonna have all the lesser ones built up because they're not having opportunity. But I've been trying to trickle more of that in, so to speak, just because they're still going to complain. Someone's still going to complain, but my sales will take a little bit of a hit. But again, I'd rather move more product, and then it keeps us going on longer and longer, anyways.
Well, but the other side of it too is the less time you have to put into it,
right? True.
The better off it is. Because I was thinking about that, and maybe part of it is comics and records may be completely different animals than where I'm dealing at. People buy the sheet music because they collect it, but people also use it for junk journal things.
Right.
So if it's got nice covers, things like that, they're gonna use it for that, or they're gonna use it for something else.
Yeah.
So it might not be worth anything, but they've never seen it before, and it's got a really, really good cover on it. They don't care. They're not going to buy. Plus, what is the typical piece of sheet music worth anyway? A couple of bucks. I'm only charging $3, sometimes $3, $4 in a lot for. I'm charging 50 cents a piece, 75 cents a piece.
Yeah.
They're getting a deal, but I'm not picking up. And if I am picking up a $100 piece of sheet music, good for them for buying it off me, because I don't care, because literally I'm buying, and maybe the opportunity for me to buy an entire box of sheet music is easier than for you to buy an entire box of comics.
Right. Well, so two things. I'll separate comics from records because they are two different beasts. But for records, the way I'm doing it now, we could still do that for 10 years if we wanted to. So we got longevity on it. And what happens is...
Right, I'm just trying to save you time.
Yeah, no, I get it. And whatever doesn't sell gets recycled back into Amazon, which we, believe it or not, we have way more sales on Amazon because of it, because we got fresh listings and the market's better than it was 10 years ago. For comics, I don't have that much time left unless you sell me your comics that have been sitting there for 3 years. But anyways, say I'm done with comics. 3 months. I don't have long to go with comics the way I'm going. So at some point, I am going to say, hey, these are the leftover longs. Let's do the same thing with these. Put them through, and then whatever doesn't go through, we put them back on Amazon, and then we're done with comics in 6 months, whatever.
Right.
But records, I mean, literally, we've touched maybe 10% of my inventory. It's been 6 months, so you're talking about years and years that we were going. And I'm sure I'll be buying more down the road. But it's definitely, I do like that idea. Another thing too, real quick, with the sellers that I have working on whatnot, I think they like it too when there's better things. It's not boring. And they feel like they're accomplishing something. Well, I made you $300-400 today. Where okay, just throw this long up there. Like, oh, it's only $88. It was crap, And then you might lose some watchers or subscribers just because oh, it's boring. I don't want that crap. They're just showing. Yeah, I remember one time when I have James and Alicia doing it a day apart or something, and they have different customers. Some of them, some are the same, but some are different. And I took some of James that they didn't want, which I thought were still decent, and gave them to Alicia, and then one of the people in there were complaining. Oh, these are recycled. I'm leaving. It's like, wow, you can't win.
Right. I just wanted to put that out there because, again, time is valuable, and I was wondering if you were doing it because you were afraid that a $100 book might go for $8.
Yeah, no, that I really don't care about.
Good.
That I don't care about. Yeah.
Good.
But I learned enough to know sometimes, and I do try to watch what sells as I'm, stacking the orders with the. Yep. With the comics or books to see oh, this is good, or oh man, I knew that's $20 on Amazon, but what are you going to do? One for two, and there is a lot of colluding from what they're telling me too, and I see you buy this one, I'll buy this one, so they can get it cheaper so they don't bid against each other. I think there's a lot of that going on too, but nothing you can do about it. It is what it is.
No, they're reported to the federal authorities as that is a crime. All right, do hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.